Hello there, and welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith, where knowledge is always the best medicine. I'm DJ Dylan. Now, let me introduce your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to Jock, where we discuss lifestyle and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being quite so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. After our first episode, I have been told that I may have been a little bit too uptight in that first episode.
Just a little on the strict side, a little bit,
okay.
Dr. London.
Okay, and I'm trying to, that's why we do this. That's why we listen to our listeners, and of course our producer here, Cameron, who, as you've told me, no one will listen to our medical advice if it isn't fun. So, and I do want this to be a fun podcast, not boring. So I'm going to try to tone that down.
You kept talking about stethoscopes. Blech, boring.
Right.
Blech.
So I'm gonna be more fun.
Yeah.
And as always, we are joined by DJ Dylan in the house.
Bye, Felicia.
Thank you, Sir DJ Dylan. All right, so in the spirit of being fun, I'm going to go ahead and start out with telling you about a patient we recently had in the hospital.
Ooh, tell me.
So this patient presented with an upset stomach. Now, I feel like we've all had that, right?
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah.
I have that right now.
Okay. So when asked if she is allergic to any medication, she listed Zofran, also known as ondansetron. She said that was making her nausea worse. So the irony here is that Zofran is actually a very good anti-nausea medication, and it's approved for treating patients not just regular nausea, but who are on chemotherapy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Sounds like it's wrong.
Thank you. So
sounds like it's nausea medicine.
Right. So it's
medicine you take when you want to be nauseous.
Thank you. So it's to treat the nausea. That's what the medication is.
Yeah, it sounds like it's giving her nausea.
Well, thank you. You might tone down the sound effects a little, but anyway, so an allergic reaction would actually be things like breaking out in rashes or hives or anaphylaxis. That's when your throat starts closing up. And so this is actually not an allergic reaction. So sometimes a patient will have a difficult time differentiating their symptoms from the medication that's treating it. Okay. Well, fun sound effects today.
Who is that?
Is that DJ Dylan?
It's DJ Debone.
Wow. Well, so, all right, we have two sound effects as far as I can tell.
Get her done.
I stand corrected.
So anyway, this patient was taking nausea medicine.
Right. And so, anyway,
making her nauseous. She was feeling too good.
Well, no. So the thing is, she actually was just confused because...
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, so this
she's taking medicine that makes her sick. She wants to not be sick.
Well,
seems to me she should just take the opposite medicine.
Well, the opposite medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. So this medication actually does stop the nausea. It's just that.
No, it doesn't. You just said it doesn't. Makes her sick. Ooh.
Right.
Dr. London. Looks like I'm the doctor today.
Okay.
Dr. Cameron.
Well, it's
got a nice ring to it, Dr. Cameron.
Right. So, why don't we go ahead and move on to our topic for today? I was told that my topics before were a little bit too specific, too particular, narrowed down.
Yeah, stethoscope. Stethoscope.
Yeah,
that's what Dr. London keeps talking about.
Okay, well, I mean, we talked about rhabdomyolysis last episode. That was the actual topic. So today's episode is going to be about just the heart, our cardiovascular system. This is how our nutrients, our blood which carries our nutrients and oxygen, it gets pumped throughout the body, and from everything from the heart itself to all the way down to your toes and your skin, all of that.
I got a question, Dr. London.
Okay.
How does it pump in your body?
Okay, good question. So it actually it's a muscle. It's a big muscle, and so it squeezes.
Yeah, but how does it do that?
All right. Well, if you just have your hand in front of you, and like have you ever squeezed like an orange or a stress ball? Okay, so it's kind of like that.
But there's not a hand on my heart.
Right.
So what's squeezing it?
Okay. I guess so. I see your point. So it's actually the heart that squeezes.
What's squeezing the heart?
Well, it's your heart is the squeezer in this situation. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
What's squeezing the heart? Okay, let me ask it in a different way.
Okay.
Who's squeezing what?
Okay.
Right now.
All right. So right now in your body, if you feel your chest, or you can also feel your radial pulse in your
My
wrist.
radio. Who's it?
Right. So if you feel your heartbeat, that heartbeat is generated by this pumping of the heart. Okay. Every time the heart squeezes.
Yeah, but who's pumping? It's this doctor talk again.
Well,
I'm really sorry. It's just this jargon you're throwing around about.
Okay. Yeah. So we have this.
No one's gonna listen to this podcast if you keep just.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and
around these technical terms about being boring, about not.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on from the basic thing of just understand for now
funny voice. Do it in a funny voice.
Funny. It'll make it better.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Talk about
the
heart pumping in a funny voice.
So the heart goes bumping. It squeezes down, and once your blood gets pushed out, that's called a systolic portion. And so when your heart squeezes down, then your blood gets pumping out throughout your whole body, and it can go even down to the toes. Is that good?
I mean, you're still not talking about what's squeezing it, but that's fine. We can we can keep going talking about
so
the heart, love, right?
Well, we're not actually talking about the whole. That's the emotional. That's actually controlled by your brain.
Heart attack.
Right. Okay. The number one, cause of death in the U.S. is cardiovascular deaths. So we can get into that.
The number one cause of death is go-kart disaster.
Well, no. So
what'd you say?
Cardiovascular.
Go-kart disaster.
Okay. So cardio, that means heart. Vascular means the blood vessels.
You keep saying it. I keep hearing go-kart disaster. Say it. Try to do it in the funny voice again.
All right. Well, sometimes so cardio refers to the heart, and the vascular refers to the blood vessels through which it travels. And so a cardiovascular system would be the whole system by which the blood pumps all the way through your body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Wow, I love that. Who is that guy? Who was talking?
I guess that'd be like sort of a Bullwinkle voice.
No, you gotta give it a name.
Oh, sorry.
I
guess that would Thompson.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that
doesn't really matter.
Well,
just don't call it Bullwinkle because they're not a sponsor.
They're a sponsor. Okay.
Rocky and Bullwinkle are not a sponsor. They're explicitly not a sponsor. We're not supposed to talk about them at all.
Okay. Well, so
Hanna-Barbera reached out to us and they specifically said that they will not be a sponsor. We cannot talk about Flintstones, Jetsons, Rocky and Bullwinkle, any of that.
Is it? Okay.
I think we're just getting too close to it. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, all right. Well. Thank you, DJ Dylan.
Dr. London, what do you have to say about the heart today? What's on your heart?
So, it's a leading cause of death in the United States. It's cardiovascular issues. So, this is something that we actually want to watch out for. You know what? Am I being too uptight again?
I hate to interrupt, but I've been over here cooking up something good for y'all, and I'm ready to share.
Is this a guest or is this Cameron?
Sheila Dawn here, and I have some goodies that I'm bringing to the state fair, and I thought that I would show them here first.
Okay,
Let you try them.
All right. Hello, Miss Dawn. My name is London Smitty, and this is Jock.
Don't tell me you really believe all that hoo-ha about the cardiovascular system and the heart. And
This
all
is I
that.
couldn't make sense of it. He kept talking about go-kart disaster at the top of it. And now he's
That is
talking
just so ridiculous. So what I've got cooked up over here,
who's squeezing
I
what?
have-
Who's squeezing what? What's okay? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Miss Dawn.
All
So
right.
what's your
So
question?
first of all,
Squeezing.
I've got deep fried cherry pie, and then I also have deep fried butter sticks, and I have deep fried butter sticks with cheese.
Mmm.
Now, these three pair together really well. And so I recommend eating one bite of each throughout your whole meal experience.
And this is good for your heart.
That's what I'm trying to say. This is good for your soul.
Well, it's-
This is soul food. Good for your heart.
I've heard
Good
about
for your
this.
soul.
Well, it's actually, so this is one of those things where diet and exercise can actually plays big roles in
And I just want to
cardiovascular
apologize
health.
to our guest real quick. He's like this. You just gotta let him.
Just always talking a bunch of foodie, a bunch of hee-haw, a bunch
Because
of
it's,
nonsense.
Squeeze, gotta squeeze it. You gotta squeeze it.
well, I don't think
what
I
he keeps
said
saying.
that.
Squeeze. Gotta squeeze. Just doesn't that dumb,
'Cause-
goofy voice. No, gotta squeeze.
Well, so diet can be if you eat a lot of fattening foods, anything high in, cholesterol, that can actually contribute.
So if
to
you're still
poorly.
hungry, though, I do have some deep fried lard.
J-
And that
just lard.
deep fried lard,
And that's low in cholesterol?
it's number one seller at the state fair
Wow.
of Arkansas.
Um,
So that actually pairs really well with our deep fried burger and fries. We just fry them all up together in one big hunk. And then we have deep fried meat. And that's just meat that we have gathered, along the way in our travels. And we have just deep fried them up, and we've got them ready to go for you here. We're just selling them like hotcakes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna,
yeah, I mean, if you're sure, we can
I
try
want to eat
these.
some of your. Can't believe this is good for your heart.
Well, okay. I mean, these
Keeps
are
it
very
heart
fried.
strong.
It's hard to. And so this is the lard. Is that what we're tasting?
You should,
It
yeah, you
was
should,
hard to.
Crunchy.
Well, and goopy also.
Yeah, got some goops.
that may have been the lard and the meat mixed together.
Meat. Okay. Well, I can't help but think that this might actually be high in cholesterol, which is actually one of the things you actually have to watch out for whenever it comes to cardiovascular disease, because it can clog the artery. I don't know if you guys have heard that term, clogged arteries.
All right.
Well, I'd be way more focused on the rabies.
Yeah, I would focus on clogged rabies as well. I've heard more about that than I've heard about what you're talking about. I can't make heads or tails.
Because some of
Sorry.
these meats,
Clogged. What clogged rabies?
some of these meats, I don't know. I don't know what kind of life these meats lived when they were alive. I don't know what kind of people these animals were.
That's so true.
And so I would be more worried about getting rabies than I would getting a heart infection from these animals that
Right.
Yeah, you're
I
talking about
found.
this getting disease, heart.
I should clarify. Rabies is also a serious illness. It's caused by a virus, the rabies virus. So that
We're not talking about computers, Doc. I mean,
well, okay. So rabies is a virus that you said it's usually
let me
transferred.
open up my email. Oh, I got a virus. Right?
Okay. Well, originally before computers, there were these viruses, and they adopted the same term, to my understanding, for computers. So this would actually be just applicable to multiple different practices. So a virus, the rabies virus, as you said, is a very serious one. It's actually something close to 100% mortality rate. So you are right to be concerned about it, but maybe not so much for cooked food. I don't believe.
Oh, man.
It's more.
Is there something sweet in the lard?
That'd probably be the skunk blood.
What were you saying, Dr. London?
Well, okay. Now having a blood product mixed into a given dish would potentially present some health.
Yeah, it's fried.
Yeah, but it's still a blood.
It's goopy, but it's fried.
But a blood product. There's a reason why. Let's say if a patient had cut something open, you would. Whenever you approach, you would wear protection.
What
like
patient are
gloves
you talking about?
Who the hell are you talking about?
In a given scenario, there's a reason why you don't let the blood touch you or get on
Okay.
you, much less consume
What
it.
is it? What is he going on about?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Before you're talking about squeezing, and you're talking about squeezing all the blood, and now, so my heart can squeeze all the blood, but I can't squeeze the blood out of this lard that she made. So the heart can squeeze blood. I can't squeeze some blood.
Well, maybe I should bring this back to the question. Why did you put? You said it was skunk blood?
It's just one of the meats that I picked up in my travels.
Okay. Well, this one I certainly can clear. Blood is not a meat.
I mean, I have blood in my body, so I can't put more blood in my body.
Well, through transfusion,
This is
it makes sense. But
doesn't make any sense.
I don't. You lost me.
okay.
I think we can all agree that there's blood in our body. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
I don't want to be controversial, get Dr.
Oh, you're
London
good.
mad at me.
There's
Okay.
blood in the lard, in the fried lard.
Well,
And that I understand to be true.
And so by
why it
eating
is
the lard-
sweet, I don't.
oh, it's so sweet.
Skunk blood is sweet.
So sweet.
I'm sorry to say.
But we're made of 70% water, and yet I drink water every day.
Right.
We're made up of if we're 70% water, then 30% blood.
Well,
But
actually, your blood is composed of a
Can't
significant
drink.
portion of water. So okay. Well,
The
anyway, I think we are getting off
large
topic. What else do you have
skunk
for us
blood.
today? Or is this
So sweet.
So you have this food? Is this a regular product that you make, or is it
It's
only for the
usually
fair?
just when the state fair comes around. We spend the rest of the year roaming around getting our meats ready for the state fair.
You spend a full year hunting.
Traveling through the major highways,
Sure.
and that's where we find our meats. We travel around to all of the states. We go through the major highways. We find the meats. We bring them to your local Arkansas state fair.
Yeah. So this sounds
Well,
like
our
this-
local. There's one state fair, obviously.
yeah.
And
This,
we give you exotic meats from all across the country.
it sounds like real work, not like, oh, you sit in an office, like a doctor's office all day. And
I'm
you see
I'm
people,
grassroots.
and you make
I'm
$1 zillion
grassroots
a
American.
day. You make just a simple living, day
Simple
to day,
life.
as a real
Day to day,
person.
gathering meats.
When you
Oh,
throwing them in the
stethoscope.
deep freezer.
okay, could
Don't
I
eat
can I
blood.
stop you? So
Let me see you with my stethoscope. Don't. It's
Okay, well,
you're
if
squeeze,
you could-
squeeze. Let me squeeze the blood.
if I could just, well, okay. So you say you're using terms like, searching the highways, and you're also. It sounds like you're picking up roadkill. Is that
I mean, you fancy types call it what you want. I call it free meat.
okay? So sorry to clarify. You find these animals deceased on the side or in the middle, whatever, on a road. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, usually if it's been like 4 or 5 days, we'll leave it.
I mean, I was on a road to get here earlier. You were on a road, presumably.
Yes.
And so that's
okay.
why is that okay? And you clearly have an issue with.
It's not the traveling by road that I have an issue with. It's actually more the eating of an animal that you find upon a road.
Well,
And-
would you rather me go to the grocery store What would you rather, me go to the, local market?
I bet he would. He probably
What,
would.
what would you rather, me eat my dog? I will, and I have, when my dog died.
Okay. What did your dog die of?
Well, he got hit by a car.
Okay.
He was
well,
in the
that's-
road.
That's better than what I was. So, thank you, DJ Dylan in the host.
And is that what this is?
Oh, she brought that platter.
No, that's not, no.
This isn't your dog?
No, it's my cat.
Oh, God. Why is it so spicy? God.
I don't know if I will also try.
I mean, he was in the road for a couple days, so.
No, it does taste.
Could you explain the science behind why that skunk's blood was so sweet, whereas why this cat's blood is so spicy?
Frankly, that would actually be more of a chef question, which is really more. That's not quite my field. Taste isn't so much the field. We're more talking about the heart. Do you have any? I know, Cameron, you said this would be someone who had commentary or questions about the heart. So what does this? How does your food for the state fair play into the role of the heart in the body?
It's good for your heart. It's good for your soul. It's good for your, family get-togethers.
Yeah, I feel like we established that like 15 minutes ago.
Okay. So when you say good for your heart, you do mean
It's
like
he
your.
doesn't even listen.
Your physical heart.
Okay. Well, I don't know that that's actually true. But we can go ahead and move on from that.
Here he's talking
if I
about
don't-
heart squeezing on its own. Squeeze, 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 squeeze,
He
squeeze,
doesn't
squeeze,
know
squeeze,
what he's
squeeze.
talking about.
And yet he says we can't drink anything that is made of the same stuff that makes up a large part of our
It's
body.
ridiculous.
Right.
Can't even explain why the cat's so spicy.
All right. Well, what if do you want, maybe it's time for a word from our sponsors?
Nope.
No sponsors. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay. No, that's all right.
there's some sunglasses. We can talk about that.
Oh, that
Sponsored.
you just have them, or are they sponsoring?
Yeah, I mean, anyone can have them.
Okay. Well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. More that.
Are you selling those?
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah, you want them?
Well, how much?
I mean, just leave the cat. Just leave the cat, and you can have them.
Okay. All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, that's our sponsor.
Thank you, sir. I
Well-
am now the sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a sponsor, because all she did was this. She bought sunglasses from you.
Yeah, we should probably hear a word from our sponsor now. Let's hear a word from our
Well,
sponsor.
Skunk blood. Cat blood. Has your neighbor's dog died? Has your lizard been deceased? Call me up, put him in the road, I'll come get him, and I will make you the best jerky of your life.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miss.
$15, but I get to keep the bones.
$15 for which thing? For the jerky. Okay.
For the jerky, but I get to keep the bones.
Right.
Do you debone it, or do they bring it to you deboned and give you the bones?
I prefer pre-deboned, but I understand if it's hard for people to do that,
Sure.
especially if it's their own pet.
Yeah. Might be
That
difficult.
would be hard for most people, not for me, but
for people with a heart, taking it back to the theme, the conversation, people with a heart who love their pet might find it difficult to debone their pet when they're trying to get it manufactured into jerky,
Okay.
right? Dr. London, could you talk maybe a little about the science behind,
Deboning a cat?
yeah, for jerky?
Well, to be honest, this is actually a topic that, at best, I would think this would be more veterinary medicine. We did have to do in cadaver labs in medical school in the first semester.
What? A who?
In cadaver labs, which is a cadaver it's a a dead body, human body that's been preserved in a substance called formaldehyde.
That's disgusting.
Right? And a lot of students did think that, but it is sort of the best way that we have to teach students
to
what
touch dead bodies, which is that's the reason you went to medical school. Oh my!
Well, it's more of a way to learn what it
a
looks
dead
like
body feels like
in real life, so that you be aware instead of just using a book.
Yeah, so that way you can finally be aware what it looks like and feels like to touch a dead body. Sick.
Well, that wasn't really the point.
You have a problem with this woman who has a great business where you take your loved one, your pet, you bring it to her deboned already, haven't made it into jerky, and yet you in your free time are touching what? I hate to ask this question. What did you call it again?
A cadaver.
I'm gonna throw up.
I understand that it's difficult, and some students couldn't take the sight of blood or the sight of a dead body. Some students can't, handle that, and so they choose not to go into medicine after they experience that.
So the reason you don't want us eating some of this fried large skunk blood, because you want it for yourself. That's exactly what it is. You want to be able to touch it. You're saying, there's a lot of people who go to medical school who, are too afraid or too grossed out or whatever. But I love it. I just want to get in there and touch that blood.
Okay. Well, that's not really, because I don't love it. It was just a part of sort of how you made it through. Well, I do appreciate the commentary and the critique, and maybe we could. Well, okay. So you say for the full year you're gathering these what I would term as roadkill normally, but let's say these animals that you find on the road, and you just deep freeze them until
cadavers, right?
Okay. These deceased bodies of animals.
Does that make you like it more? If we call it road cadavers, does that make it a little more up your alley?
No. I don't think it would help.
Or the skunk blood.
Okay, so you gather these throughout the year, and you just keep them, or do you? And that's your job for the year?
Right, until the state fair.
Do you make enough money to live off the rest of the year from that?
I have the #1 selling tent at the Arkansas State Fair.
Okay, so it does last you for the full...
The lines are miles long.
Miles?
Miles.
How much money did you make last year?
2.5 mil.
Jeez. Wow.
Okay.
What's your biggest seller?
It's just a combination of a lot of things because I have so many small animals.
Well, and especially because whenever you had a sample, we were tasting multiple animals at once and multiple blood types.
I do want to clarify, when I say what's your biggest seller, I don't mean the physical size of what you're selling.
Oh.
Yeah, so not what's the biggest seller.
I guess probably the thing that I sell the most are the deboned pets.
Okay. Yeah.
People save their
Deboned pet
specifically jerky. The pets?
Yes, even if their pet dies the day after the fair closes, they save their pet all year long for when I open up my tent.
Yeah.
So for these ones, these aren't the ones that you just find on a highway. These are the ones that people contact you and say, my pet has passed away.
Well, they just bring their pet, their dead pet deboned, and it's de-thawing on the way to the car ride to the fair.
Much in the same way that I might take a dead cadaver, deboned, and take it to Dr. London, right?
Well, usually... the bones are actually part of the cadaver lab, and I will say that's very much first semester med school. That's not a part of the daily practice of a doctor.
Okay, so if my friend dies, I can't bring him to you. That's what you're saying.
My
best friend.
I am saying that.
My best friend.
I would not be the one to bring a dead body to, generally speaking.
Sorry. I take his bones out. Now I can't bring him to you. Was that the issue?
Okay.
Sick.
Well, it's still an issue of my job is more to keep people alive.
Yeah.
And so if your friend is already dead, then I would not be the one to call. That wouldn't be my job. That'd be a job for, a morgue or something. So, no, that would be now if he's has, let's say, the subject of today's talk, if he has a heart problem and he's having a heart attack or something, then you could bring him and then we could try to treat him and get him well. But that wouldn't involve any deboning at all. That would involve,
This sounds confusing.
Yeah. Just debone the guy and we'll just take him to you. Seems simple.
Okay. Well, I'm not...
So, I mean, I guess we kind of do have a sponsor this episode. It's Dr. London. If your friend dies, debone him, take him to Dr. London. Dr. London does whatever weird
Doctor
stuff that he wants to do.
I don't know.
So, there's your advertisement. There's your sponsor.
Your damn self.
But if a pet dies, if you want to made into jerky, debone them and then bring them to our guest, Dawn.
Miss Dawn. All right. Well, thank you for your input. Why don't we go to the fan mail?
Sure.
Yeah. So sometimes we're a relatively new podcast, but we've already started getting in some fan mail. People who are interested in medicine and just want to talk and kind of hear about sort of a doctor's perspective on their life and sort of what input we could have, specifically me, but also perhaps our guest, maybe Miss Dawn, maybe Cameron here, maybe even DJ Dylan.
Nope.
This comes from Miss Sarah 452. Dr. London, how do I get a man to be emotionally attached to me and committed? Some of the things I've been doing haven't really worked, it seems, and no, I am not talking about sleeping with him. Also, why are men so attracted to perfect eyebrows?
Thank you, Miss. Was it Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. London?
Okay. So, Miss Sarah, was it?
Yes.
Well, thank you for the question, Miss Sarah. Great question, and I appreciate you contacting us. I feel as if maybe you were you're leaning towards the sort of emotional aspect of the perception of the heart. In
Well, it's
society.
about the heart.
Yeah, but usually
So,
we were.
heart.
Okay, well, and
Pump,
this
pump.
is this is psychological, whatever. Okay, so that is a branch of medicine as well as psychiatry. Okay, so.
I mean, Dr. London, how do you get a man emotionally attached to you?
Okay. How do I get some?
Or whatever.
Okay, well. I mean,
Or
personally.
How do you get a cadaver emotionally attached to you?
Okay, well,
If
that's not.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, I guess
What that word means.
personally, Miss Sarah, I also don't always get as close to people as I would like. Maybe the whole dating thing isn't. It's not easy, and so I get that you're having that trouble. And as far as getting someone to emotionally or emotionally commit to you or whatever, I don't think I know.
Is it because you haven't found the perfect eyebrows?
Okay, this is.
You seem to really be avoiding the eyebrow thing, which kind of
Yeah.
tells me
That I'm really into the eyebrow.
just
For me, for me, cards on the table. Eyebrows are the thing for me. If they don't have the eyebrows, then they have to be symmetrical. And that's.
So
that
when
is-
you see a pair of just juicy, perfect eyebrows walking down the street,
Okay.
how do
I
you
don't-
force that person to be emotionally attached to you?
Okay, and I don't.
With the heart, using the cardio cadaver.
Right. I don't. To make them attached to me, the way you're phrasing it at least makes it sound like I'm forcing them, whereas
Emotionally attached.
emotionally attached.
Perfect
So
eyebrows. The most
eyebrows.
perfect eyebrows. you've
Right.
ever seen.
So I would
Just
talk to
walking
them.
by with these perfect eyebrows.
I would try to ask them how they felt and why they felt. I guess this isn't such a dating show. I guess.
Let's talk to
I'm
our.
not-
Let's ask our guests.
Yeah. I get sure. Miss Dawn.
Well, I guess to me, when I see two bushy eyebrows, it just gets me hungry. It just makes me think of the meat, and I just get ready to get my deep fryer going, and to pilfer through the deep freezer, and find a good hunk of meat.
So these
are eyebrows you found through your travels.
Right.
So you think of
Wow, that's great.
when you see someone's eyebrows, you think of roadkill. You're on the street, you see eyebrows, and you start thinking, I need to go to my freezer and not stop somewhere at a restaurant. You think, I need to go to my freezer and pilfer through and find a good hunk of meat that you think would correspond to the fuzzy eyebrow, the bushy.
And this is
eyebrows.
good for your heart?
Okay, once again,
This
do-
lowers your cholesterol.
I do not think that it does that. In fact, well, granted. Okay, so for you, it makes you hungry. Okay, it gives you a hunger, and I guess that generally, emotionally, that's a lot of us, right? We are longing for. We sort of hunger for a relationship. We long for a connection. Most of us, it doesn't make us directly hunger for the roadkill that we keep deboned inside of our freezers. But the sentiment remains, right?
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Well, thank you. I think we're out of time for today, but thank you to Miss Dawn for coming and treating us to your delightful treats. Thank you to Cameron as always, and DJ Dylan. All right, thank you for listening to the podcast. This is Jock Doc. If you go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we are Jock Doc Podcast. If you liked that episode, please like and subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Cameron tells me that the 1, 2, and 3-star review algorithms on iTunes are actually not functioning.
Yeah, not working at all.
They are not working at the moment.
If you click in it, it might download a virus to your computer. That's what happened to mine.
Okay.
And yours.
You use mine.
Yeah. After I got the virus on mine, I had to use yours and your tablet.
So in any case, if you have a negative review, we want to hear all the input. So if you have a negative review, go ahead and put 5 stars anyway, and then leave your negative review. So I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, but Cameron tells me that is the way that iTunes is working right now. And thank you again for listening.